All right, we are on. So today we are here with Medieval Steel. Introduce yourself and tell us what you do in a band.
Okay, I'm Bobby Franklin, lead singer for Medieval Steel, and that's it.
I'm Jeff Miller, guitar player with Medieval Steel.
Mm-hmm. Now, the new album sounds spectacular. Tell me about the songwriting process.
Well, let's see, we've lost you here. Okay. Way we'd do it sometime is I'll have a title or have lyrics written, and then Jeff will, him and I will get together and we'll just hash out. He'll usually bring an idea to me, or he'll come with an idea, and then we'll just work it out from there. Now he can he'll probably tell you probably about the same, but that's usually the way it works. Or he'll come up with the whole idea, and I'll just put a melody to it.
Okay. It seems like you took your time with every song to make it as perfect as possible. What was going through your head when you were writing the music and arranging those songs?
Well, I mean, arranging them, we really took our time with it. We wanted them to be, since it had been so long, we really wanted them to, be perfect, be the best it could be for the record coming out, since, like I said, it
was 14, 2014?
Yeah, 14, yeah, something like that. It's been a while. So
Dark Castle came out in 14.
Writing them, we go over them. They took multiple changes, multiple directions before.
Multiple studios.
Yeah, multiple studios. We had some hiccups with a few studios, and we had that album's been tracked probably 4 times now. So
awful.
It was quite the love of what's that term?
Labor of love.
Labor of love to get this record done. But
yeah. And a lot of money.
Yeah. But pretty much when we released it, when it was done, that was it. We put many rewrites into it, many ideas, a lot of pre-production. So yeah, that's pretty much what it took, and I feel like we got a pretty good product.
And generally, why did it take so long? What did you guys do during this massive downtime?
Well, during the pandemic, of course, we started writing, and we're writing. Of course, we already had Dark Castle written, but during the pandemic, people in studios didn't want you to come in, and you had to wear your mask, and we just didn't feel like we could get anything done like that. So we just kind of waited, and we started work on the new record we're working on now, Blood Moon. But as far as Gods of Steel, it took us a long time because like I said earlier, we had to switch studios, we had to switch engineers, we had to switch producers, band members. So
a lot of band member changes.
It was just a cluster, from the beginning. We had the songs already written, but it was just hard to get them out there because and not all of it was our fault, but I guess some of it was because I may have been an asshole about some things in there, and I usually am. If the band's not being successful, I have to put my foot in some people's ass, and I'm not afraid to do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, Bobby, yourself and Steve Crocker are the 2 longest serving Medieval Steel members.
Yeah.
How much guidance were you giving to someone like Jeff and Jacob to kind of preserve what Medieval Steel is all about?
Now, Jake, I don't have this guy here. I pretty much, he kind of takes over a lot of time and leads on a lot because he's probably a little more laid back than I am as far as things go. But and I'll just kind of let him. But I don't have to work with him. He's seasoned professional. He's been around a long time. But now Jake, on the other hand, is a young guy. You kind of got to work with him. So it works both ways.
Me and Bobby have pretty much the same musical background and taste and influences. So it made it real easy. Once I got in the band, it was pretty much I was just playing other people's music for a while and getting my feel for the band. And then now with Blood Moon, that's kind of the first time I was able to really step out and go, hey, check these out.
Yeah.
I wanted to take the band back to its roots more.
Tradition.
And back to that traditional, 80s metal. And I think it's gonna, you know, people are gonna be surprised when they hear the new record, because it's gonna take another direction, but we're gonna kind of take it back to its roots, tone wise of everything, feel wise. So, you know, we really locked together real well when it comes to writing.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Bobby, can you explain to me what is your general vision of Medieval Steel, since you have been since day one? So how do you see this band, you know, happening? What must be in place, you know, before it's considered Medieval Steel?
Oh, well, that's that could be a tricky question there. First of all, you got to have top-notch players. You got to have, you know, A1 players. And when you get that, and the songwriting is there, well, then it pretty much falls into place by itself. All I really have to do is make sure that, you know, the melodies, the content, the storyline, and everything is in line, in pocket, and I think we'd be good to go on that.
The album's title is Gods of Steel. Mm-hmm. What lyrical content are you exploring this time around?
I think that, as far as that particular song, it was just it's kind of maybe I don't want to say a fantasy tale, because probably this has happened in the past before, but it's still, you know, it's like one kingdom tries to enforce its will on another kingdom, and in order to do that, sometimes you have to kill a lot of people. So that's pretty much it. And so and parts of the song says pray to the gods of steel. Well, that actually means that the people that are you're planning to dominate, well, you do it with a sword. So you have to pray to that sword to be able to get, you know, take over them. And, you know, and someday I have to kill a lot of them.
What about
but all other tracks? It's like more of a back in maybe Roman days, even before, well, not before Roman days. It's probably the medieval times. And, you know, back in the day when, you know, that's what you did to, like, inflict your will on other people. You had to dominate them. So that's kind of about what it's about.
When you look back at all of your other recordings, where those Gods of Steel fit?
Good question. Well, I would say right now, since you know, it'd probably been, oh my God, what, just 6-8 years since we did a record last one. So I would say it's you know, and by the reviews we're getting on it, I think it fits in probably as one of our best, you know, and like Jeff referred to, but is the traditional sound that we're wanting to go back to, it lacks a little bit, because there's some, in my opinion, there's some songs on there that's a little bit more commercial than I wanted it to be, and there's songs on there that, you know, we didn't think were going to be that great. Turns out that's the ones that people like over, like for example, in Spain, one of their favorite songs in Spain is Stargazer. And we wrote that in 15 minutes. We didn't think anything about it. So now they're like, oh my God, we love that song. So, you know, you'll never know.
Mm-hmm. Who will release this album?
It's independent.
So it's a self-release.
We were going to release it through, we were going to release it through Skull Records out of Poland, but he felt like it wasn't classic metal. I don't know why. Don't ask me that. He said he thought that it wasn't classic metal enough. I don't know if he meant it wasn't heavy enough, or it wasn't
the tones
or something
too new, too modern, and it didn't fit the classic Medieval Steel
that he was looking
embodiment
for.
That he was looking for.
He tried to compare it with Pantera, and I don't think there's any comparison there. But you know, so that didn't work out. We did do a reissue of one of our earlier albums, the Dungeon Tapes. We did that re-release through him and Lost Realm Records out of Portugal, yeah. And so, and when it came to this one, he just didn't feel like it was what he was looking for his particular record label. But he's already talking about the next one. We sent him a couple songs off the next record, Blood Moon, and he's already talking about, I want to do some business on that one, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, releasing a record on your own is never easy. So what are you how will you promote this album?
Well, we're just pretty much self-promoting it as much as we can. And I'm going to be honest with you, already word of mouth is getting it out there very well. I mean, we're getting airplay all over Europe. And I just got a message from a guy from Star Radio in Nuremberg, Germany. They're playing Spain, Germany, England, Poland. There's several countries that are still playing. And we're trying to do our own self-promotion, but you're right, it's not easy. And so, we'll just take it as it comes, and we'll just concentrate on the net. And that's what we're doing anyway.
And we're utilizing social media too the best we can. We're like Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. And then we're having somebody redesign the website so it's a little more upgraded and all that. So we'll be pushing marketing everything through there and through social media as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of a distribution are you looking at? Like, where will the record be available at?
Well, again, we're probably going to have to do that ourselves. Now, I have talked to No Remorse Records, but I'm not sure we want to, do anything with them, because not saying anything bad about them, but some of those independent people or labels, to be honest with you, you can't trust them. They'll tell you, okay, we're going to press this many. Say that we're going to do 1,000, we're going to press 1,000, and that's it. But after that 1,000's gone, they change the artwork and press more, which we don't know about, and we're getting screwed. So you've got to be careful.
Well, it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
So we've got it there streaming. So we're just now getting to where we can open up a lot of different avenues as far as streaming possibilities and online release.
And our CDs in bulk. They won't even be here till next week. So we're still in early stages of this, because we just released it at the beginning of March. Mm-hmm. So we're still in early stages.
Now, you've mentioned there's a lot of interest in Europe. A lot of countries you mentioned are European countries. How are things looking for the US?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. We don't have a lot of promotion in the U.S. because our target audience is mostly Europe. But we have a couple shows here. We got a show in Houston next month, and then one is at Reggie's next year early, and then we got New Mexico City coming up, and then Milwaukee. But as far as promotion in the States, we haven't really done a whole lot of that.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of that, what kind of a hard rock scene do you have in Memphis, which is where you're from?
It used to be killer, but now it's nothing, man.
Yeah, there's not much here anymore.
All the good players moved to Nashville or California or somewhere else, and then you only have I think there's 3 clubs here now? Mm-hmm. 2 or 3 clubs here that even let you play it. So we don't even play. We played one time here in the last 4 years.
Last summer.
Yeah, and that was last summer. That was an outside show here in town, and it's just not very much of a scene here at all. So we don't really concentrate on playing here. This just happens to be where we live at the time, and we're just trying to concentrate on writing new music and staying on top of that.
Mm-hmm. Now, you had been mentioning that you have been working on the new album throughout the interview. Tell me more about this.
Yeah.
Well, Blood Moon
already has a title.
Oh yeah.
Title track.
Yeah, we've actually only got about 4 or 5 songs left to solidify on it. It's a story. It's I don't want to say concept record because it's not, but each song is kind of linked in a way where it could be a story that's told. So it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And one day I walked outside and I looked up and it was the Blood Moon.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, huh. So I got online. I went, what does that mean? Does that have any? And when you read it, it's a whole huge a story of legends and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, we've got to write this record.
Yeah.
You know, so me and Bobby talked about it, and I said, man, let's take this back to the beginning. Let's take this back to, let's write what you and I are best at, and that is just old school heavy metal.
Yeah.
Because that's what we cut our teeth on, you know, Priest and Maiden, and man, just all that, you know, Deep Purple, all that stuff is just what we're made out of. Black Sabbath. So all of those influences and all the old tones, and just, you know, it's what's creating this record, and it's just so, it's awesome. It's powerful.
It's going to be a really good record.
The songs are strong, and we're just really excited. You know, so to follow Gods of Steel up with Blood Moon is going to be really exciting.
When do you anticipate for this album to be released?
I would say early 23, maybe March, March, April 23.
Yeah.
It's like Jeff was saying, we got 5 songs already recorded, and they're in really good shape. We just need to mix them, but we got 5 more, and these 5 coming are the most difficult ones. So it's going to take the rest of the year and probably the early part of next year to get them finalized.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Now, are you in charge of your catalog, all the old recordings? Are you in charge of your own career?
Oh, absolutely. We have all that is in my name,
mm-hmm.
under the Medieval Steel banner. So yeah, now we did have an issue about Dark Castle. Now we had licensed that record to an Empire Records. I think they were out of Germany, I believe. And then, you know, for a set amount of money. And then the guy was pretty slick. He pulled it. He sent me the contract, but you know, I'm not a lawyer, so I didn't read the fine print on it. And if I had, I would have realized that it was a 20-year deal. I signed it and realized that later. I just signed my rights away on Dark Castle for 20 years. But we got all that back. We paid a certain amount of money and got all that back. So that's why we re-released Dark Castle on through Skull Records and through Lost Realm Records. But it, you know, if I hadn't went through them, I wouldn't think I would have even known that it was a 20-year deal. And then I would have tried to re-release Dark Castle. He would have got all the money for it. So if anybody out there, make sure you read the fine print, man.
Will you have all of those albums available through your own, let's say, website, your own merchandising company?
Yeah, all that all of that is already on the digital platforms, but by I would say early summer, midsummer, we should have all where you can buy all the shirts and CDs and everything you want from our website. So it should be available by then.
Excellent.
But because the website itself is still under construction, we didn't want to put just something cheap looking out. So we want to take our time with it and do it right so it looks good. Mm-hmm.
Finally, Medieval Steel started back in 1982.
Yeah.
You're still here. What keeps you going?
Thank you, Lord. Thank the Lord for that. Yeah.
What keeps you going?
I don't know, when I get in there with these guys, and you know, it's just I'm pumped up, like we're about to go jam here in a little bit, and just the thought of being able to play with my friends, make good music, and know that people around the world appreciate it. It's like adrenaline, man. That's what keeps me going, and so it's no problem. I mean, I am older, man, but I still have the voice. I still have my voice, and I'm trying to take good care of myself. So hopefully I'll have it for a long time.
Man, music never leaves you.
Yeah.
Once you got the music bug, and once you've done it, it's tough to just sit down and walk away from.
Yeah, it's like a drug.
That's harder to get rid of than an addiction.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that keeps you going, man.
Yeah,
it makes you think at night. You know, I need to jam.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like you get fuzzy. I put that in a term as fuzzy means you get jonesing to hear them get loud guitars, or to be able to sing, or to be able to get in there and make some good music. You jones for it. I mean, you really do.
Mm-hmm. Voice-wise, you sound excellent on the new album. In fact, I wanted to ask you, what is it that you do to maintain your voice?
Well, first thing I have to do, since I'm older, is I don't know if you can see it in the background, but I got a treadmill back there, and I have to get on that about once or twice, 3 times a week, and do a mile or two. That, no drinking, no smoking, and my wife feeds me good meals, so I'm good.
That helps.
Yeah, it helps. It really does. So it's just a matter of taking care of yourself, because the older you get, your vocal cords, if you don't work them like you should, you're going to lose it. If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So that's where I'm at with it. And I think that by quitting all the partying and the drinking and smoking cigarettes and weed and all that, it helped me a whole lot, man. And I wish I'd have done it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeff, I think I'll be all right now. Just take care of yourself. Yeah.
Jeff, looks like you in for a long trip. Are you ready for all of this?
I'm ready. I'm here for the long haul, man. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. He's a great guitar player, man. You can't beat him. I call him the head shredder, the top head shredder. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.